We have some questions that we solicited from the pastors. We have pastors here from all over the great state of Ohio. Some drove a long distance, and we asked them some questions that we would like for you to answer. Question number one: our failing public school systems are holding our children back. What is your plan to help our children get access to the best possible education, and what is your view on school choice?
We have to have choice. Choice is a must. And we have to end Common Core and bring education local. Common Core is a disaster. And we're going to have great education in our country. We don't have it now. But choice, very important, very, very important. And Common Core has to be ended. We're bringing education local, meaning our loving parents and all of the professionals. We're going to do it on a local basis, not with the bureaucrats. Okay?
Mr. Trump, our second question says, inner cities have been ravaged by violence and addiction. It has been spawned with tensions between law enforcement and our neighborhoods. How would you encourage peace and build safer communities?
Well, one of the ways is places just like this. You see what's going on in this room. And you have everybody in this room. You have Asian, you have white, you have black, you have everybody right here. And you see what's happening. So, I mean, the churches are so important in all of our religious institutions. And the other thing, we have to stop the drugs from pouring in from across the border. We have a tremendous drug problem in Cleveland and in Ohio and in North Carolina and South Carolina and in New Hampshire. It's a tremendous problem, heroin in particular in New Hampshire. But we are, our country is being poisoned, and it's pouring across the southern border. And we are going to stop it, believe me. You know, the Border Patrol agents are great. 16,500, they endorsed us recently, and they endorsed Trump. First time they've ever endorsed a presidential candidate. We are going to stop the drugs from poisoning our youth, from pouring into our country, just poisoning our youth.
The African-American community has traditionally voted Democrat. I mean, to be honest, we got strong opposition from the Democratic Party through the black community for this meeting. But they ain't stopping nothing here. You're making a strong case for the Republican vote this year. How can the conservative agenda help all of our communities?
Well, you know, it's not even about a conservative agenda. You've been trying and working in the inner cities with the Democrats for so many years, sometimes over 100 years. There are actually communities, and they're a disaster. The schools, the safety, the jobs, it's all horrible. I mean, in some cases, they're less safe than places like Afghanistan. You know, we hear about Afghanistan. Some of the inner cities are less safe. So I just tell you this, we are going to make such headway, such a change. And you know they're not going to do it. Because, Daryl, they've been doing it for 50, 60, somewhere, I mean, minimum is like 32, I think. There's one city, 32. Unbroken. Unbroken. And I say that. And some people, I told you before, some people love it and some people don't like it that much. What do you have to lose? Perhaps they can, but not much.
Families are struggling to find work. How do you pledge to grow the economy and create jobs for America?
Well, we have NAFTA and these agreements, these trade deals are the worst deals anybody ever negotiated. NAFTA has destroyed our manufacturing. Our manufacturing has gone to Mexico and all these other countries, and we're going to renegotiate those deals, and we're going to make them either very good and very fair, or we're going to terminate them. We'll start all over again. Believe me, we're going to bring our jobs back. We're going to bring our companies back that have left us, fired all their employees. We're going to bring them back. So that will be the thing. Maybe I originally started on that and illegal immigration. And we have to stop illegal immigration, by the way. We have to stop illegal immigration. And Hillary Clinton is not in any way, shape, or form capable of doing that.
Two more. This is a question that I believe each and every pastor in this room is concerned. Once this election is over, in what ways will you continue to engage the faith community? When we're not simply for votes or whatever, but will we have a continued access to the White House to to speak what we perceive to be the voice of God to you?
Well, I can tell you a number of the ways are by getting you folks, Darrell, all of you, and Ben Carson and everybody totally involved with the communities. Because right now you don't have any involvement with Washington, very little. And the involvement that you have, which is a Common Core involvement, the involvement that you have is not a good involvement. We're going to be very much involved with the inner cities, and we're going to create incentives for the inner cities so that the inner cities can grow and produce jobs. And we're going to bring our jobs back from all these countries that have stolen them like we're a bunch of babies. It's like candy being taken away from a baby. That's the way they took it. And we're not going to let that happen anymore. Many of you folks have had great jobs and you don't have it anymore. Your company is gone. And you've never been able to replace that great job you had when you were younger. And we are going to bring our companies back, and we're going to bring our jobs back. Believe me, it is to a large extent about jobs.
Mr. Trump, this is, for most of the pastors and leaders here, this is a very big question. Much hinges on this. The question says, the next Supreme Court justice will make decisions that will touch the rights of every American that may come to define the nature of our government and our society for many years. Will you stand strong on your suggested appointments and stay committed to naming only true constitutionalists to the bench?
Yes, the answer is yes. You know, as a 100%. 100%. Wow. Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, that question and that response is amazing because I get it so many places. And you'll hear about these never-Trumpers who are dying fast. Right now they're on respirator, okay? Because the unity is becoming incredible. Just today in the Wall Street Journal, they have an amazing story about, an amazing Wall Street Journal story today about all of the support that we're getting from lots of rich people even. They're coming in. You know, these were never Trump, never Trump, never Trump, and now they're believing. They see lower taxes. They see cutting the regulations. They see job creation, which is so important. And it's really been amazing. And one of the things that they see and that you people see is that, and so important, the judges. So I picked 11 judges, very, very much into the world of the Constitution, because we have people that in some cases, I think in all cases, will have absolutely the Constitution will have no bearing on their decisions, okay, if somebody else gets in. And we picked 11, and we're adding 9 more. We're going to have a total of 20 people, and I will pick from that group of 20 people. These are 20 outstanding people. The rest of them, already 11 have been named. We're adding 9 more who are terrific. Very much Federalist Society choices, Heritage and Federalist. And they're really, really amazing judges, and I will pick from that group. And these judges, you know, we lost Judge Scalia, and these judges are very much the mold of Judge Scalia. So I think it's a very important, so important. So important, this election. So those people and those Republicans that aren't helping, they should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, they should be ashamed of themselves.
The final question. I know that's right. This is the final question. I just added it. It's a question that involves all Americans, not just black Americans. But it's a question that's on everyone's mind. And I feel honored to be able to ask you this question and for you to answer it for the first time, to address it for the first time, because I know the media is here. How y'all doing? And your response is going to reverberate around this planet. So you can take your time and think it through. What do you have to say about the recent shootings of unarmed black men by the police, up to and including the shooting in North Carolina one yesterday and the shooting in Tulsa the day before?
Well, as you know, I'm a tremendous believer in the police and law enforcement because we need that for ourselves. We do. And I've really gotten the endorsement from so many different groups, and they're great people. They're great people. Now, great people, you always have problems. You have somebody in there that either makes a mistake, that's bad, or that chokes. I must tell you, I watched the shooting in particular in Tulsa. And that man was hands up. That man went to the car, hands up, put his hand on the car. I mean, to me, it looked like he did everything you're supposed to do. And he looked like a really good man. And maybe I'm a little clouded because I saw his family talking about him after the fact. So you get a little bit, different image maybe. But to me, he looked like somebody that was doing what they were asking him to do. And this young officer, I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking. But I'm very, very troubled by that. I'm very, very troubled by that. And we have to be very careful. So, I mean, these things are terrible. That was, in my opinion, that was a terrible situation. And we've seen others. And the police are aware of that too. By the way, the police are troubled by it too. They look at it. Now, did she get scared? Was she choking? What happened? But maybe people like that, people that choke, people that do that, maybe they can't be doing what they're doing, okay? They can't be doing what they're doing. So, yeah. Yeah. So we all respect our police greatly, and they will just have to get better and better and better. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for Mr. Donald J. Trump. Listen, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to ask my wife, the one who does all the work in this church, and I get all the credit for it, but she's going to come. I want you to